Jai Hind. Namaskaram. Greetings to all Psychorians. I'm sure all of us who have spent our formative years in this great institution of ours have become productive citizens one way or the other and have contributed to the society. Some of our alumni have no doubt excelled in various fields, be it the armed forces as part of bureaucracy, corporate world as entrepreneurs, or in the field of adventure or sports forever. I always ask myself as to what goes into making such people who excel themselves in various fields. During the Diamond Jubilee year, I thought, let me talk to as many people as possible to find out their formula for excelling, as also what motivates them to excel in whatever they have chosen. The first conversation is with Lieutenant Colonel Sripada Sriram, who has set Guinness World Record for fastest solo cycling men from Leh to Manali, covering 472 kilometers in 34 hours and 54 minutes, bettering the previous record by 38 minutes. So I am in conversation with Sripada Sriram to find out his journey through school, through army, and how he has been able to achieve this Guinness World Record in cycling. Hope you enjoy the conversation and hope youngsters would be able to inspire themselves for excelling in their own fields of choosing. I am Colonel R. Ravindra, studied in our great institution from 1969 to 1976. Left army in 2001 and been in the civil street in the corporate sector for about 20 years. Hope you enjoy the conversation. Thank you all very much. Have a great day. Take care. God bless us all. Yeah. So I was asking you about the circumstances under which you joined Sainik School Korukunda.
Sir.
Hmm.
Sir, actually, we were not living in Andhra Pradesh when I joined school.
Mhm.
So how it happened to be was my father migrated to Bilaspur, which was then Madhya Pradesh and now Chhattisgarh.
Yeah.
Long back, sir, about in 70s,
Mhm.
in search of greener pastures. So and Bilaspur is a railway hub, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So he went in 70s and joined the railways.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my sister, we were born in Bilaspur. So I mean, for a long time, for all practical purposes, our hometown was Bilaspur. So because we had not seen much of Andhra.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents did not have a very good education. My father was, I mean, a 10th class Telugu medium. My mother was Odia medium, and she discontinued after 7th class. So we did not have a very academic kind of a culture at home. But I mean, credit to my parents that when it came to our education, they made sure that we went to a English medium school from our initial primary school onwards. And then it was my mother's actually dream that I should one day join Sainik school, because one of her cousins was in Sainik school Korakonda, and he later on, I mean, became a doctor. Unfortunately, he's no more. So my mother had this dream that I should join science school, but then she did not know how to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And by being in Bilaspur, we did not have much of an idea, sir, and it was those 90s. So the awareness, or there was no, I mean, nobody to guide us. So on a chance visit to Vijayanagaram, we went there for my uncle's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
This was after I had finished my 5th class in Bilaspur. And then when we went there for the wedding, after the wedding was over, my mother did some inquiries, and she got to know that there is a coaching center in Vijayanagaram, which I mean, prepares students for the science school entrance examination. With this little bit of knowledge, she took me to that coaching center and spoke to the teacher there. And that's how within, I think, about 15-20 days, I was just unceremoniously dumped into that coaching center. I had no clue what I was supposed to do.
So basically, your mother was the inspiration
Correct, sir.
to get you into the Sainik school, right? So which year did you
Correct.
join? 95.
1995, sir.
95. Okay. So great. Who was your favorite teacher in school?
So when we joined school in 95, in Palwa House, our housemaster was Mr. C.H. Satnarayana. He was a biology teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, so when I went to school, I had a little bit of knowledge about English, and Telugu. I was completely, I mean, clueless. And it was shock to me to realize that we are supposed to study Telugu also as a third language. So I thought English Hindi would suffice. So, but then we had to study Telugu also. But kudos to the teachers that within those 3 years, when we studied at Telugu C level, I could pick up a decent, I mean, I could write well, I could read well Telugu. But my favorite has always been English, sir.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe because once I reached school, I realized that the library was like a treasure trove. I mean, you name a book and it was there. And for me, I was already into reading comics and everything before I joined school, but most of them were Hindi. But English always attracted me. And all my English teachers have been my favorites, sir, starting from Mr. S.K. Panda. He taught us in 6th standard. Then Mr. Alex Abraham, mostly 8, 9, 10. And then Mrs. Manali Thayakaran and Mr. R.G. Thayakaran. So all my English teachers have always been my favorite. And then after about 9th, I also picked up biology. So Mr. Sadasivan and Mr. N. Ramakrishna, who are our biology teachers, they were also, I mean, very, very close to us. And I would always rank them also among my favorite teachers.
Okay. So that makes sense actually. Anyway, so yeah, can you mention any one or two incidents that happened in school which are, always remember, I mean, are in your mind? Fun or serious or whatever, yeah.
Sir. So in our time, sir, from our 6th onwards, the dramatics competition was always a very prestigious kind of a competition in the inter-house thing. And when we were in our 12th, So the system was that the senior houses had to enact two skits, English, and about 20 minutes each. And then along with the skits, we used to have all those solo song, group songs, the monologue or mimicry and all those, the entire set. So in our 12th, we had two skits. One was the adaptation of Macbeth, which was, and our housemaster was Mr. Alex Abraham, who was an English teacher. So the adaptation of Macbeth was very close to his heart. And the other one, he said, it is up to you guys, whatever you decide. And I was always very a keen participant in all these kind of activities. So then I came up with this story, which is basically the old Hindi movie Gumnaam, and which is Agatha Christie novel, sir. And then there were none, in which about 12 people, they get, they go to an island, and each one of them dies, one after the other. And at the end, everybody dies. So it's a very mystery novel. So I thought of adapting that novel onto this stage. So we did that. With some improvisations and everything. And then 2 days before the main dramatist competition, we have a dress rehearsal. So when the housemaster came and he had a look at that skit, and I was the basically the dialogue writer, the director and everything. So when he had a look at that skit, he said, it is the most obnoxious skit I have ever seen. And rather than, presenting it, we should just forego our points for that skit and not, present at all, because it's going to a huge embarrassment. And because I was very close to that, so I told him, sir, we still have 48 hours. And don't worry, sir, we will do something. But he still insisted, please drop. And I was adamant that we will continue. So we went back, we did some brainstorming. And what we realized was that all it lacked was proper background music, sir. Because for any kind of a mystery skit, you require that kind of ambience and those background music, and we didn't have any. So I remember we had a 9th class guy called Nagarjun, very good at Casio. So we got him over for the night, and we told him just skit and do something. And he was good at his, so he got the best score. And on the final day, when we enacted the skit, sir, people were so impressed that there were teachers who came and said that this was the best skit they had ever seen in their time at school. So wow. we ended up getting the best skit, best actor, best consolation, everything. I mean, we swept the awards. Great. So this is one memory, and the skit was called The Perfect Murderer.
Perfect Murderer.
So our entire batch actually remembers. Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. So any other incident? Yeah. You can please start. Yeah, you were at the second incident. Yeah.
On French Liberty to watch a movie. And I was the house captain. So generally, when a duty master comes, you generally, make a wrong head count and pass it off. But that night we had the senior master come over, Mr. K.V. Rao, and he was that larger than life kind of a teacher with an aura. So one could not bluff their way around him. So I had no option but to blurt out the truth. And so when both of my classmates came back from the movie, very happy at 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night, after the movie, they had a plate of biryani and all. So they had a reception team waiting at the house, which consisted of the headmaster and the senior master. So the remainder of the exams, both of them, the remainder of the exam, they had to move out of the school. And there's a Bujji coaching center at Korkonda. So they took refuge there because they were suspended from school. And then they attempted their remaining of the board exam from the Bujji coaching center. And one of them today is a coursemate of mine. And he was SEC Mike when we passed out of NDA.
Okay. So this was which year?
2002, sir.
2002. So history repeats itself. Same thing happened in 76 in Chalukya House. And, so many years later, I think history has repeated itself. Yeah, it must have repeated many times Yeah. Okay. So moving on.
And that movie was very. That movie was a very hit movie, sir, because the director was South Korean, Vijay Bhaskar.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
So in our time that he had started, making good movies. So we had that added incentive to watch those movies because it's by a South Korean.
Even though it is not perfectly legal to do so. Okay. Yeah. So so moving on from school. So what happened later after that?
Sir, actually, I was one of those guys who did not have a plan B after school. So my entire aim or plan was to just get into NDA. And before that, sir, I would like to narrate one incident. While I was in 8th standard in 1998, my mother, she lost her vision in both eyes.
Okay.
So there's something called glaucoma. And yes, sir. So we were, we could not detect that in time. And by the time we realized that it had spread to that extent, we could not arrest that vision, and she lost it. So when I was in 9th, I actually wanted to quit school and go home. Because my sister, I have a sibling. My sister is 3 years elder to me, and she was in her 12th standard. And because my father was in the railways, and he was a train driver, and every time he used to go out of home, he used to come back after 3 days. So there were times when my mother used to be the only person at home, and she could not see. So that was the time when I wanted to quit school and then go back home. But then she was very adamant that I should continue till 12th, and because she always wanted to me to get into NDA. So I think not only Sainik school, the reason I got into maybe army also is basically my mother. I mean, she was the dominant factor in my life that got me into army. So with all that thing, I never had a plan B, sir. I always thought that I'll make it to NDA. And generally, you have people in your batch whom you feel that these guys will definitely make it to NDA. Because maybe they are good at oratory, or they express their views, good in writing. I was always good in writing and speaking. So I took it that I'm a certainty for NDA. I mean, I would say now, I mean, hindsight, I was very, very overconfident. And because of that, I did not have any plan B, sir. Neither did I try and attempt any competitive exam to get into maybe engineering or medical. So nothing at all. And in our 12th, sir, we did not have a great result at UPSC. So out of the 50 guys who appeared, only 19 cleared.
UPSC, okay. Yeah, please continue. You were saying out of 50 who appeared for UPSC, only 19 cleared.
Yes, sir. Only 19 cleared. I was one of those 19. So I thought, I'll make it. And what happened was that we had our board exam. So school had postponed our SSBs to the last batch. So I remember 10 of us went to number 2 FSB Mysore in April after our board exams and after our second UPSC attempt. And out of the 10 of us, only 2 cleared, sir. And I was not one of them.
Oh, okay.
So it's a huge, shock to me also. I went back home, and everybody at home was shocked, and I did not know what to do. I had no plan at all, because I have always thought that NDA is a certainty. And then followed a phase of about 5 to 6 months, which I look back with a lot of trepidation, because I was not in a very happy space, sir. I did not know what to do. My father was not very happy. And so I thought, for lack of better opportunity, I thought, let me go back to Hyderabad, maybe get into MSET long-term coaching, and maybe have a go at the medical seat. Now, we were not very well off, sir, at any point of time. So my father said, I can't afford that kind of a long-term coaching for you. Then me and my mother, we came out with a sort of a compromise where one of my aunt, she used to live in Hyderabad. So we convinced her to let them accommodate me so that I can attend those classes as a day scholar. So because if you go in a boarding and vis-a-vis day scholar, the fee is almost half.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I went back to Hyderabad, sir. I went back to Hyderabad. I used to stay at my aunt's place, attend those classes. And it was not easy because, firstly, you're staying away from home and at a place where you're not very comfortable. Neither are they comfortable with you. So when I used to come back from my classes, the entire house, all the bedrooms, the kitchen, everything used to be locked. It is only that drawing room that used to be open. So I was supposed to go there, just sit on one of those sofas. So I used to have that food and keep sitting in the drawing room and wait for them to come back. So it was a very difficult phase of life, sir. I did not know. I mean, I used to feel unwanted. And having grown up in science school, where you always have, I mean, your friends around you, your teachers who are like parents to you. So suddenly, the entire this kind of atmosphere very unnerving for me. And I mean, it was a tough phase, sir. Very tough phase because suddenly, I mean, for 7 years, you're part of a very premier school, like a science school, and suddenly you are out in the open where you are. I mean, there is no shelter. You are. I mean, you're just fighting for your everyday life. And so that was a very, dark phase, I would say. And I told myself that the only way I can maybe come out of it is by clearing my SSB second time. So as luck would have it, I had cleared my UPSC. And so for the last 1 month, I went to a classmate's place in Guntur. So we prepared together. And then fortunately for me, the second time I could make it through SSB. So that whatever that phase was, it taught me certain lessons. But at the end of it, there was some light. So I did not suffer long term for it. But yeah, it is a learning that one should always have alternatives up your sleeve, because banking only on one thing is not always. It will not always be successful.
Sure.
But I mean, all's well that ends. So I could make it to second attempt. So in my batch, sir, total of 4 guys cleared in the first attempt and 7 of us in second attempt.
Okay.
And
So
then I joined the 100 NDA, sir.
So then after that, and finally where you commission, yeah, from then on.
Then, sir, even NDA life, sir, I don't think school prepares you for NDA life. So when I went to NDA, I was in Hunter Squadron, sir. And so all school types, they used to always look at me and pity me. Okay, this guy is in Hunter. Because even at that point of time, Hunter used to revel in being the toughest squadron. So even that 3 years in NDA was not a cakewalk. I still remember when I went to Hunter, I was in 109. So I had a fourth termer called P. Kishore Kumar in 106 course, again a Psychorian. And incidentally, just about 4 months ago, 1 month ago, he has taken over command of a RT unit, sir. So he told me one thing, and it stuck to me. He said, the only achievement in NDA is to pass out with your course. He said, you don't have to do anything extraordinary here. The only thing you must strive hard is to finish the 3 years in 3 years and then pass out with your course. So that somehow stuck with me.
So some things never change.
I always
I saying some things never change. Yeah. Okay. Philosophy was the same, probably 30 years back or 40 years back. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Please carry on. Yeah.
And so in NDA, sir, I was never a very high performance cadet. I just used to do my stuff and carry on. And but there are a couple of things which I remember from my NDA days, sir. So we had a senior called CHV Sudhakar. He was 101 Delta. So by the time I entered academy, He was already passed out, and he was in the Navy, so he was doing his engineering in INS Shivaji. And when I was in 8th standard in school, he was our school captain. Amazing guy, amazing guy. And every Sunday he used to land up at NDA, get all of us together in the cafe, and sponsor a meal or two. And then he used to always say one thing. He used to say that when our school types, they are performing well, the entire squadron, the entire course, everybody supports them. But for those people who are not doing very well, somebody is a PT failure, somebody comes in 5th or 6th enclosure in cross country, or somebody fails in academics, he says the entire squadron is as such behind. I mean, they are baying for his blood. As school types, even if we also put or pile on that kind of pressure, then I mean, there's no point in being a school type. So he used to always say that we must look out for the people who are not doing well, give them a shoulder, support them, motivate them to at least pass those things. So that is a very, very unique kind of a thing which I had not seen, sir. Yeah, I mean, he always had that principle, and that thing stayed with me. So when I went to 5th term or 6th term, I tried and reciprocated in a similar manner that he taught us. So that I used to find that in NDA we have a advantage of being from a school where there are people around us, and instead of piling on the pressure, if somebody is not doing well, we as a school type have a separate responsibility to make sure that they cross the obstacle or hurdle, rather than, I mean, make him a specimen, which is the most common thing in NDA. So at NDA, I really had a lot of support from school types, and I want to believe that I gave that kind of support to my juniors. So being from school was very special, sir. And we always used to observe that the remaining Sainik school did not have that kind of bonding that we had.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Maybe that is something we carried on from our school time or whatever, but we definitely had a special relation than other Sainik schools.
Great, good to hear. Okay, so moving on, what happened next?
So then I was an army cadet. So 4 of us were army cadets from 109 course. So we moved on to IMA. And then in IMA 3rd term, I really did not know what to opt for. I was never a die-hard infantry optee, but I did not know what to opt for because I had a very scant knowledge of life after academy. So I had a DS called Major VK Sharma from the Gurkha Regiment. So he told me that since you are good at academics, he said, my recommendation is that you must join artillery, because somebody who is good at studies can do well in artillery. So with just that kind of info, I opted for RT, and I got RT.
Okay.
I got RT, and I got commissioned into 106 Medium Regiment. And before I go on further, sir, I always tell people that there are 3 things which have happened to me. The best 3 things that have happened to me. The first one is Sainik school. The second is Ramya, my wife. And then third was to get commissioned into 106 Medium, sir. Because it is a fantastic unit, and whatever good I have done post commissioning, I would say it is courtesy my unit, sir.
Okay.
So when I went to unit, I was told that one of our ex-Icorians was the commanding officer of the unit. You must be probably knowing him, sir. General Indu Narayana.
Okay. IP. Okay.
Yes, so he was a YO of my unit, and he commanded my unit. So when I went to my unit, I already had a kind of a reputation that he is a Icorian, so he can't be bad. So
Okay.
and General Narayana was then Colonel MS-11, so he used to keep coming to unit. So for me, he was almost like a father figure. So whatever guidance he could give, and the guidance that I got from my unit, my subaltern, and my battery commanders, fantastic atmosphere, sir, very, very good unit. And so the initial grooming in the army, I was fortunate to have in a unit, which is a very good unit. So it got lucky, sir, that way. And then you generally go to your basic courses and you're expected to do well. So I did my basic courses. Then I was commissioned Mathura. Then I had a 2-year tenure at Dras. Then we came back to Ambala. I had a G2 tenure at 60 Infantry Brigade, Delhi. And then I did my battery commander at again my parent unit, sir. And then in 2016 I cleared staff college. So for that also, sir, 3 of us prepared together. I mean, 2 classmates and one of my junior, Ramakrishna is in infantry. So all 3 of us prepared together, and fortunately all 3 cleared staff college. So 2017 to 18 I did my staff college, and then after staff college, once I got posted to Bikaner, I consider like it as a turning point of my life, sir.
Okay. What way?
Before that, sir, I got married very early. I was a lieutenant and I got married to Ramya. And for a long time, I think we were the junior most couple in the unit. So, it was both, I mean, boon also and bane also. Boon in a way that we were pampered by everybody. And by virtue of being in the unit for such a long time, I mean, both, I mean, as a couple, you learn a lot about the unit. And bane because, I mean, as a junior, you're always running around from, one place to one place. So separation is a lot. But yeah, we got married very early. But we hit a roadblock, sir, in 2011, when despite about 3-4 years of our married life, Ramya could not conceive. So because at Vizag, we were referred to INS Kalyani. We had a very good doctor there, Commander Srinivas. And he told us that she has a condition called PCOS, which is a polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is the primary reason for infertility, sir. And he said she cannot conceive naturally, and then we have to go for IVF. And at that point of time, sir, I was I think 26, and Ramya was I think 25. So we could not really grasp the importance of all those things. We took it very lightly, especially me. And I said, sir, I mean, we have the entire life ahead of us to plan and start a family. So I was not very serious, and I just left it at that. So after and then I was pushing Dras at that point of time, sir. So we came back to Ambala, and then there was a moment when I realized that we need to really get a go, because years were passing by and there was no success. So for about 2 years, sir, we used to go from Ambala to Delhi, R&R hospital and back. 2 years of absolute, pain, agony, trauma for the lady, definitely. And as a couple, going through IVF and back, it's like it's very, psychologically, it takes a heavy toll on the entire this thing. So the only thing which kept us going was the support from our unit, sir. Because despite being in Ambala, we used to go from Ambala to Delhi in the morning, come back by evening from Delhi. And then when you're back to unit, you see those kind of positive vibes. I mean, the officers and ladies, they support you like their own children. That was the thing that held us on for those 2 years. And fortunately, unfortunately, sir, what happens is that life does not go as per plan. And then medical miracles also happen. So after 3 IVF cycles, we gave up, and we thought maybe we can only adopt. And then one fine day, she conceives naturally. So
great. Okay.
This is one of the very important chapters of our life. And I write, sir. I started writing when I was in school. So I continued writing through my school, NDA, commission life. So I have a lot of blogs on my name. So I have one of those blogs is about an entire IVF journey.
Yeah.
And I really feel blessed and proud to get that kind of support with which we could sail through.
Huh.
And then coming back to 2018, sir, after staff college, I got posted to Bikaner, sir, as a G1 officer of a division. Now, what happened was that, sir, in the 1 year of staff college, and before that, the preparation for the staff college, I had completely stopped any and every kind of physical activity, and I was putting on weight. So I was always known as a very thin and lean, slim chap at school, ND, and after commissioning also. So once I start putting on weight, I stopped all physical activity. And there's a time when I could not even run 5 kilometers in the prescribed time limit.
Mm-hmm.
When I reached Bikaner, sir, I still remember the first 5 kilometers I did. It took me about 38 minutes. And then I paused and asked myself, what is this situation that I've come to? Where the fitness is no longer there. I mean, the military bearing is completely lost.
Which year is this?
Sir, 2018, sir.
2018. Okay. Mm-hmm.
In 18, I went to Bikaner, June 18.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly it dawned upon me that I was actually wasting my life. And one more thing which actually hit me was that by not thinking about our health, we are actually putting our family in a very compromising position.
Mm-hmm.
So I told myself that maybe it is my moral responsibility to be fit. And then I started putting in some serious efforts to get fit, sir. And in staff, sir, I mean, as a Jivan Ops in the division, there's a very little time I used to get. From morning 8:30 till almost night 8:30, I used to be in office, including, I mean, lunch I used to have it in my office only. But then whenever I used to come back from office to home, whatever be the time of the night, be it 9 or 10 or 11, I used to put on my shoes and go out, do a run, and then come back. So I told myself that I could compromise on my sleep or the extra leisure time, but not on my fitness. I could not say that I'll compromise on the office time, because as a staff college guy, you're expected to put in that kind of hours in your appointment. So I could not, I mean, help that thing. But then I told myself that night is mine. I will take out that time. So 3 months at Bikaner, sir, I used to run a lot. And I never enjoyed running, sir. Even in school or NDA, I never enjoyed running. Never at all. But then I realized that after 3 months, I started enjoying my runs. If I did not do a run on a particular day, I used to feel restless. So with all these things, my speed improved. I mean, but then it did not help much in reducing my weight. So I kept thinking, what do I do to reduce my weight? And then because I had seen so many people cycle at staff college, I never once cycled at staff college, but there was a cycling club at Wellington. People used to cycle a lot. So I thought, why not try cycling?
Okay.
So one fine day in September 2018, when I went for TD to Ludhiana, I picked up a hybrid bike. I spent a good amount of money on that. I was not very happy about it, but I picked up that bike. I came back to Bikaner. I remember my first ride was, I think, 15 kilometers, and I did not enjoy it at all. So next day I went to Div headquarters and I told my Colonel JS, sir, I wasted 30,000 in buying this bike, and it is not at all, I mean, a good experience. But then I thought, let me persist. So I set a routine, sir. In the morning, I should do 5 kilometer run. In the evening, I should do at least 25 kilometers cycling.
Okay.
So I followed this for almost like 2.5, 3 months. And to my surprise, I reduced almost 7 to 8 kgs.
Okay, in 3 months' time, huh?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay.
So I realized that cycling and running in tandem was, I mean, it worked wonders. And I was back to my ideal weight. And within those 3 months, cycling actually started interesting me more than running.
Okay.
So there was no pressure of reducing weight now. But then because I started enjoying cycling, so every day I used to do 50 kilometers cycling.
50, huh?
Yes, sir. Every day.
Oh, God. Okay.
On Sundays, I used to go out from Bikaner. And sir, Rajasthan is a fantastic place to cycle. I mean, you have those roads, totally empty roads. Really enjoy cycling there.
Yeah.
So on Sundays, I used to start early, thinking of maybe doing 100. But then almost for 3-4 months, I used to go one way about 30-35 and then turn back. I lacked that push to do 100 km. So the first 100 km I did was after 6 months of cycling, sir. I still remember March March 19, I did my first 100 km. And
Okay.
then it's just about that mental block. Once you cross that mental block of doing a century ride, and then next time when you go for a century ride, you'll do it with absolute ease. So within I think 9 months, I had already done 150 kilometers, sir.
Okay. In one
And
go.
One go, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And sir, for me, Bikaner Cant is a huge place. So I had a loop of 22 kilometers. So on working days, I used to start riding at night about 9:30 at night. Ride till morning 5 or 5:30. Do a 150 km.
Wow.
Come back home, sleep for maybe 1.5, 2 hours, and then reach office. So my Colonel GS or my GOC, they never knew that I have been cycling throughout the night.
Oh.
But then one day, I think it was Janmashtami, sir, and I was cycling at 1:30 at night, and my GOC and the GOC's wife, they were going around the station visiting all the unit temples. So they crossed me at 1:30 at night. I was cycling. And then next day, the GOC called me to the office and asked me, what were you doing at 1:30? I told him, sir, I cycle at night. He was so impressed, sir, that he told the entire Bikaner station that my Jeevan Ops is a cyclist and he's got that kind of passion. And for him, I will cycle 100 km.
Okay.
So he mobilized the entire station. Almost 70-80% of the officers were in Bikaner, picked up cycling because of all these things which are happening. So I had a lot of support even at Div headquarters. A lot of support from my GOC, my Colonel GS, and all that, sir. I mean,
fantastic.
So in June of 19, sir, I thought, let me do a 200 km. And then I started reading up about it. And then I realized that in India, we have something called BRMs. In short form, they call breves. So in breves, you basically, different cities have got their own clubs. You register for a event. And then they have their own set of rules. And the breves are generally 200, 300, 400 kilometers, 600, 1000, 1200.
Okay.
So I registered for my first 200 km in Delhi, sir, in June of 19. But then maybe I rushed into it, or maybe I was not mentally prepared, or maybe I was not very sure of my hydration and nutrition requirements. I reached Delhi, sir. It was a night breve because it was the peak of summer. It was a night breve. It started off at 8 o'clock from Delhi. We were supposed to cycle 100 km on the Delhi-Jaipur highway. And then at a place called Ramada Hotel, we were supposed to turn back. So 200 km breve. And then the timing is fixed. All over the world, the timing for all breves are fixed. For 200 km, you're supposed to finish in 13.5 hours. Okay. It's not a race. It is supposed to be
endurance. Endurance.
Yes. Yes, sir. Even if you finish in 8 hours, you won't get any medal of getting first. So breve is more of a camaraderie building exercise where if you're 10 guys cycling, all of you cycling together, helping each other is more beneficial than one guy rushing and finishing earlier.
Okay. Like a school orientation race.
Yes, sir.
We used to have
Yes, sir. So once I started cycling, sir, again, I was not mentally prepared for that. So maybe after 60 or 70 kilometers, I started cramping, sir. My hydration was not correct. And then beyond 80 kilometers, I was blacking out, I was vomiting. And at 92 kilometers, I finally gave up. I was just 8 kilometers short of the halfway point. I just gave up. There was a dhaba to my left. I think it was about 12:30 at night, sir. I just went there. I put my bike down and I almost fell unconscious. Then almost from 12:30 till 4:30, 4 hours, I was in and out of consciousness. I could feel that I'm lying down on the lawn. But then I wanted to get up. I could not. So, I mean, 4 hours of very
exhaustion, total exhaustion. Yeah.
And finally at 4:30, I made an effort to get up. I gave a call to one of my friends who was working in Gurgaon. And I told him, please come in your vehicle and pick me up. So he came, he picked me up. I went back. I went back to Bikaner. Very, very embarrassed because I could not finish 200 kilometers. And then people told me I mean, this is not the way you do it. I mean, you are lying there. You could have, and anything could have happened. People said, "Buddy, stop cycling and all those things." I took a sabbatical for 1 month, sir. I analyzed. I did a post-mortem of why those things happened, which happened, and then I drew out some lessons. The first thing I did was I sold my hybrid bike, and I got onto a road bike.
Okay.
Because the question I asked myself was, am I going to cycle long distance in future? And by long distance, the question was 1,000, 2,000 kilometers.
Okay.
And to me, I was always clear, even at that point in time, that I'll do a long distance. So when that was clear to me, I went in for a road bike.
Okay. Yeah,
Then-
but sorry for interrupting you. So till this time, so you never consulted anybody as to regarding nutrition, your hydration, how you're supposed to sort of, your body, maintaining your body. Did you consult anybody or nothing?
No, sir. I was just banking on Google and online knowledge.
Okay, okay. Yeah, please carry on. Yeah.
So once then I got into a road bike, sir. And then I think I got it in July end. So August I was cycling. And in brevet, sir, what happens is, if you do all the 4 brevets, 200, 300, 400 and 600, in one brevet season, you get a medal called Super Randonneur.
Okay.
Basically, randonneuring is called is cycling in French. So even if you do any one of the event, you are already a randonneur. If you do all the 4 events in one calendar season, you are a super randonneur. And the calendar year is from 1st November to 31st October.
Okay.
So I got my bike in July end. I started riding in August.
So July 19 you're talking about?
19, sir.
July 19. Okay.
Yes. So in 19, so I was riding on my road bike in August. I got very well accustomed to my road bike. So I just had about 2 months to finish all the 4 races to be a super runner in 19 itself.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have had to start again in the next year, 1st November 19. And so in Delhi, sir, when I did my first brevet, one of the organizer was a person called Mr. Satish, a veteran cyclist. He was cycling. He's been cycling for last 20 years. So I used to consult with him. And I told him, sir, I've been scouting for places where I can do a 200 kilometers. And I can't find anywhere. And he said, is a 300 kilometer happening anywhere? I said, yes, sir. There's a 300 kilometer brevet in Sonipat on 31st August. So Sonipat, sir, is like 8 hours from Bikaner. He said, why not start with 300 km? And I said, sir, you remember I could not even do a 200 km. So I first want to, cross the 200 wala obstacle and then maybe tackle 300. And he said, there is no such rule. Just, try and attempt it. And he said, let me also come and accompany you. We'll do it together.
Oh, great. Okay.
That's how I registered for the Sonipat 300 km, sir. And 31st August, I drove down. And how I used to attempt revenge is, Saturday afternoon, I used to finish my office, have a quick lunch, start driving from Bikaner, reach the venue by maybe midnight on Saturday. And Sunday early morning, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, the brevet should start. So I used to maybe sleep for 3-4 hours and then attempt the brevet. So same thing happened, sir. I finished my office, drove to Sonipat, and next morning we started for the 300 kilometer brevet. I think it was very, very humid, sir. 31st August in North India, humid, hot. So it was a very tough ride. I think we finished in 19.5 hours. And the total time allowed is 20 hours.
Okay.
But having finished that, it gave a lot of confidence to me.
Yeah, obviously. 300 straight away, first time in 300. Yeah, good. Okay.
So then before we broke off, Satish sir told me, he said, next Saturday, we have a 400 km in Delhi. Why not attempt that? So I said, sir, I don't think I can attempt back to back. I'm already tired. So let's take it later on. I went back to Bikaner. By Wednesday, sir, I started feeling better. So I thought, why not do the 400 km? So I gave a call to him. And I said, sir, I'm coming to do the 400 km from Delhi. So same system, sir. Saturday afternoon, I started driving. reached Delhi by midnight, and Sunday morning it was 400 km. So Delhi to Jaipur and back. And for 400 km you get 27 hours, and I think we finished in 21 hours.
Okay.
So that again was a huge morale booster. Then again he gives me a call on Monday, and he says, 600 kilometers next week from Noida, which I am also attending. So why not come over? So I said, sir, definitely not possible, because I've done back-to-back 304 kilometers. I don't think my body is recovering by then, so I won't be able to do it.
So
but again, by Thursday, sir, I felt, why not?
Ram, there was slight audio problem. So you were saying he told you about 600 kilometers the next week, I mean the coming week, right? Hello? Yeah. So he told you about the 600 kilometers in the next week. I mean, the week you completed, that Sunday, next Sunday was the 600, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Move on. Yeah.
So I thought I may not be able to recover by then, sir. But by Wednesday, Thursday, I thought I'm recovered enough and maybe I can attempt. So I registered for the 600 km from Noida. Same, I drove to Noida, and then we did the 600 kilometers also in time. So without planning, sir, actually none of it was planned. The back-to-back 300, 400, it was not planned. And then after I did my 600 kilometers, I was mighty confident. And then, as luck would have it, the next week was a 200 kilometers from Sonipat.
So this was in September 2019, right?
Correct, sir.
September 2019. Okay.
Yes, sir. So 31st August, I did my 300.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
7 September, I did my 400.
Okay.
14 September, I did my 600.
Okay.
And then 21st September, I did my 200 from Sonipat, sir.
Okay.
So within, 21 days, I had finished all my 4 breves, and I had picked up my Super Rounder title.
Fantastic. Okay.
So that gave me a lot of confidence, sir.
Yeah. So how was your body doing? I mean, congratulations, but excellent. Yeah, but how did you cope up with the physical stress of it? I mean, you were okay
completely
with it?
Fine, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Completely fine, sir. Completely. I mean, I did not feel any cramps or any kind of discomfort. And in fact, when I did my 200, I was thinking of finishing in a very quick time frame, because by then I was so confident. So my 200 was a breeze. I mean, I just finished it, I think, in about 8.5 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then by doing all this, I not only it gave me confidence, I also started getting some kind of credibility in the cycling, circle. Then for the next season, sir, I went to Jaipur. I did a 300, 200, 300, 400 kilometers from Jaipur. And then next year, that is 2020, there was a 1,000-kilometer breve from Bathinda.
Okay.
So I went to Bathinda and I attempted the 1,000 km. It was in February of 2020 and very cold. Rajasthan, Punjab is very cold at that point of time.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And for 1,000 km, you get 75 hours. So it was a really tough breve, sir. Because what happens is basically once you get sleep deprived, the body, the mind gets into hallucinations, and then you sleep while cycling, you hallucinate. So it's a very tough kind of a situation to negotiate. So by 1,000 km, I remember for all these things, like in the, last about 5-6 hours, I was hallucinating. I was not able to, I was not myself. The mind was playing all kind of games. But I finished in 68 hours, sir.
Oh, fantastic. So the time limit was?
75, sir.
75 and finished in 68 hours.
68, sir.
Oh, fantastic.
And, sir, and when I went back to Bikaner, my corps commander, 10 Corps in Bathinda, I was called to corps headquarters, and then the corps commander specially gave me a memento to mark that kind of achievement. Because by then things had spread. Jeevan Ops of a division doing 1,000 km. So he said, if this guy is able to get time, I don't see any reason why others cannot get time. So one question, sir, which I always used to be asked was, how do you get time? People assume that if you're doing this kind of event, somebody is giving you time. So I always told people that 24 hours can't be, it cannot be 25 hours. You just have 24 hours.
Yeah.
Now, how you utilize the 24 hours are totally up to you. Whether on a Sunday, you would like to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, ride from 3:30 till 7:30, do 100 km and come back. Or you can choose to get up at 9 or 10 o'clock on the Sunday morning. So I think it's all about choices.
Yeah.
If you want to take out time for something you love, some passion of yours, you can always find time. Nobody will give you extra time. Yes, the time has to be taken. And I actually believe we have time, sir. Like in staff, if I could do that kind of thing, I think it's possible anywhere.
Yeah. So Feb 2020, you completed the 1,000 kilometers.
Yes, sir.
At Batinda. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Moving on.
And then June 2020, sir, I got posted back to a unit, not my parent unit, new basing unit. So I came to Udhampur. And sir, by then I started thinking, and sir, what happens is basically when you're attempting something, you keep asking yourself the question, what next? Once you do 100 km, you would like to do a 200 km. You won't be happy with doing 100 only. So that bar always keeps, going up. So I asked myself, what next? And then we have all these kind of races. Now, races are something different from races. In races, you are actually racing against your colleagues, your
other participants. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I think in July of 2020, sir, when I...
So how old were you as of July 2020?
36, sir.
36. Okay.
So once I reached Udhampur, sir, so I started asking around people. Because I now needed guidance. Ways you don't require any guidance because you can just go with the flow. But for races, you need somebody to guide you on how to go about. So I read about Lieutenant Bharat Pannu, sir. He's from AME. And in 2020, he had just finished a virtual race across America.
Oh, he is also a record holder, something,
yes,
no? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I spoke to him, sir. I told him I'm so and so, and he asked me what is your aim and what you want to do, and I said, sir, I want to get into races. So he told me, if you want to get into races, then you have to do supported race. So supported race, sir, what happens is you are riding and you have your own crew in a support vehicle. So they are the ones who are responsible to provide the nutrition, hydration, everything. They keep coming with you. They keep following you throughout the route. He said, you have to get accustomed to supported races. I had no idea of how to go about, sir. And in August, sir, I remember he called me and he said, there's a virtual race happening. Why don't you participate? So I had not got into indoor riding by then. So when he said virtual riding, I got an indoor trainer. And in virtual riding, what happens is, sir, you mount your bike, your road cycle onto the trainer. There's a software on your laptop in which you are riding, your ride data, your riding stationary, your ride data is being transmitted to the software. And on the software, on that route, your avatar is basically riding with the same speed.
Okay.
So it is actually like you're riding outside. I would say tougher than riding outside because here you're riding inside. There is no ventilation. You have to keep at least two table fans, a ceiling fan because you sweat a lot. And then in the software, if there's an elevation, you also feel that elevation. If it's a downslope, you feel the downslope.
Okay, so the cycle adjustments are made such that
yes, sir.
you feel the gradient.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a smart trainer.
Yeah.
So the software controls the trainer.
Okay.
So on August 15th of 2020, there was a virtual time trial. There were 3 categories: 8 hours, sorry, 6 hours, 12 hours, and 24 hours. So
Okay.
basically, if you're participating in 24 hours, you have to keep cycling for 24 hours. And then the guy who cycles the maximum is the winner.
Okay.
And I had enrolled myself in 24 hours time trial, sir. So it was being organized by a group called Irregulars,
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of cyclists.
Mm-hmm.
So there was lockdown, outdoor races are not happening.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they came up with this
Mm-hmm.
on Independence Day. They'll be so I enrolled for 24 hours, and I think that we were 6 of us in the 24 hours thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know any of my co-participants.
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard about them. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise. So because I did not know them,
Mm-hmm.
I did not know about their reputation. So I thought they're like me only. And I started cycling, sir. I think we started cycling on 6 o'clock at morning, 15th August, and ended up at 6 o'clock on 16th August. And I did about 611 kilometers, sir.
Okay. Mm.
The guy who came first did 771.
Okay.
So I was fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, I realized that the people who came first, second, third, they are one of the most elite cyclists of India.
Okay.
I mean, they're the top 3 or 5 cyclists of India.
Mm-hmm.
So that again gave me confidence that you could participate along with them. So you can always push the bar ahead. And they were all younger than me. So I was the oldest guy.
Okay, but you were so you were cycling for how many hours?
24 hours, sir.
You cycled for 24 hours and covered 600.
611, sir.
Oh, so how was this experience? Because again, hallucinations and all. How was this? I mean, like 24 hours cycling continuously is. I mean,
Yes,
I don't know. It's beyond me at least.
So, sir, actually, my entire riding time was 22 hours.
Okay.
So the breaks that I took in between amounted to almost 2 hours.
Okay. Okay.
Because beyond 12 hours or 18 hours, I was feeling sleepy. So I went back, maybe had a 5-minute power nap, came back.
Okay.
But it was a good experience, sir. Indoor riding is not easy. So guys, we are at the tag end culmination of the 24 hours cycling. Just about 3 minutes left. And I've covered about 610 kilometers. So maybe 1.5 kilometer more. And there are 3 guys ahead of me and 3 behind. So you could say I'm at the midpoint. And yeah, the limbs are tired. One part, yeah, majority of me wants it to end. But then there is that tiny bit part which, feels bad that the event is ending, because events like these are very far and few. So, yeah, 2 minutes left. We are at 610.6, so maybe that's the final rush. By the way, the first guy would have almost hit 780, I believe. So it's a very wide gap. I was aiming at 680. About midway, I thought, maybe I'd hit 650. But yeah, I'm ending up with about 610, 611. So satisfied? Yeah, very much. Because it's been a long time that I went for a ride and not very accustomed on the trainers. So yeah, last 1 minute left. I'm at 611. Yeah. So the organizers are prompting us about 30 seconds. Maybe I'll end up with 611.5. Yeah, 30 seconds. it's over. So I ended up with 611.5. So that's it. Awesome job, everybody. Yeah, thanks. I realized that.
Yeah,
And
boredom actually. It's more of boredom also. No, continuous sitting there. I mean, like
yeah.
cycling in at one place. I mean, yeah, okay.
But after this, sir, at least I got to know what are races and everything. And then I got in touch with all these cyclists who are very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, in 21, sir, in February 21, I went for a 5-day SR. So I told you about my super round-runner journey, which I did in 21 days. So in February 21, in Jalandhar, they had organized a 5 days super runner series. That is, you start with your 600, you finish 600, with some gap, you start with 400, then gap 300, and then 200. It's all happening, I mean, hardly any gap in between. So within 5 days, you are doing all the 4 events.
1,500 kilometers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My God, crazy man. Okay.
So I enrolled for that in Jalandhar. I went for it, and we were 5 of us doing that 5-day SR. It was really, really challenging because the route was Punjab, Himachal. Like we started from Jalandhar, we were riding Pathankot, Dharamshala, Kangra. So it's all elevation, mountains. So it's not a flat route that you're just cycling and there's no pain. So that 5-day SR was a huge, eye opener, sir, because till then I had not done too much of a mountain riding, elevations. In Punjab, Delhi, it's all plains. So climbing all those mountains and all, I was not enjoying that climbing. So that means I told myself, maybe I need to do more of these, because races are all about elevations. You get all sides of all terrain. So the 5-day SR, we finished it in time. It was covered in news also. It gave me confidence also. It also I also told myself that I need to do more of this elevation practice.
So this is not a sorry. This is not a race.
Breve, sir. Breve.
It's a breve only. Okay.
Breve. But the only thing is, within 5 days, we do all the 4 events.
Okay. Yeah.
100, 300, 400, and 600. So that again, it was challenging because by the time you are into your 200 kilometers, you've already been cycling continuously for the last 4 days, 13 kilometers, your body is tired. So, it is difficult to keep yourself going the distance. So that way it is challenging. But the lesson I learned from that was that practicing climbing and elevation is also very important. Then, sir, after this event, last year, 21, we went to, Ladakh, sir. We all went there. And I think at that point of time, me and Bharat Pannu, sir, we used to interact a lot between ourselves. And he had done this Leh Manali Guinness Record in October 2020. So last year, 21 May, suddenly when we were talking to each other, he said, you are going there, why don't you attempt and break the record? And I had never thought about it, sir. I just, I dismissed it just like that because I thought maybe he's just trying to motivate me, or maybe matter of fact. But after that, 2-3 conversations, he kept repeating that. And I said, sir, I don't think, I can do that. And he said, why not attempt? Break karna, nahi karna is a different matter. At least you can attempt. So, on a whim, in May of 2021, I filled up the online application for the Guinness record, sir.
Okay.
Because one has to fill up the application. Guinness takes about 90 to 120 days to approve the application.
Okay.
Only then you can undertake the record, sir. I just filled it up. I forgot about it. I went to Ladakh. And I think July end, I got an email from Guinness confirming the approval.
Okay.
And then I started thinking that now maybe I have to attempt. So basically, sir, June, July in Ladakh, Ladakh, I had just not cycled. So after this approval came, I started cycling there. And then cycling in high altitude is a different matter. So I start cycling there, and it's all mountains, sir. I mean, you hardly get a plain area. It's all you're climbing or you're descending. So in September, I think on September 11th, sir, we had a race called Great Himalayan Ultra. Now it is called a RAM qualifier, sir. So before going further, I would just explain what is RAM. So RAM is basically a race across America. It is conducted every year in the US in the month of June. So I think it's been happening for last 40 years. It is a 5,000 kilometer race, which is supposed to be covered in 12 days. It commences from California on the west coast, and it ends at Annapolis on the east coast.
Okay.
And to just put things into perspective, sir, in the entire 40 years, only 3 Indians till date have finished it successfully.
Okay.
Sir. So every ultra cyclist has a dream of completing RAM. But to compete in RAM, one has to first be a RAM qualifier.
Okay.
So we have 3-4 races in India, which if you finish in that kind of time, you qualify for RAM.
Okay.
So the Great Himalayan Ultra, which is happening in September, it is a RAM qualifier.
Okay.
It was a 600 kilometer race. It starts from Leh, goes till Dras, and then you turn back and come back to Leh.
Okay.
So these 600 kilometers, one has to finish in 37 hours to be a RAM qualifier.
Okay.
So once I got my approval for Leh Manali Guinness Record, sir, I thought I should do this record by September end, because beyond October it starts getting very cold.
Yeah.
So I thought I should not delay it beyond end September. And I wanted to participate in this Himalayan Ultra as a precursor to my Leh Manali record. So I was cycling with that aim, sir. One day when I started from my place, on a Sunday in August, I wanted to cycle till Khardungla top and come back. A total of 160 kilometers. So I was feeling very good that day cycling. I reached Khardungla top, and Khardungla top is basically 40 kilometers of continuous climb from Leh.
Yeah.
I reached the top. I was feeling very happy about it. While coming down, there was a bad patch of about 1 kilometer. I lost control of my bike, and I crashed into the mountains.
Oh.
So once I crashed into the mountain, my bike was completely broken. My body was broken. I was bleeding everywhere. I felt definitely I have broken a couple of bones, if not more. And then I was evacuated by the ambulance. Then next day I had a X-ray. Fortunately, there were no broken bones. But then I was in a bad shape. And the Himalayan Ultra was just about less than 18 days. And my cycle was broken, sir. So I had to first get a new bike. I had to first, I had to recuperate from all those injuries and then participate in the Himalayan Ultra. And Himalayan Ultra was my first supported race. That means I was supposed to have a crew of my own.
Okay.
Of which I had no idea how to do a supported race. I had no crew actually, sir. I did not have any crew.
So when you went from Leh to Khardungla, so you just went alone, or you were a group, or somebody, there was a support
alone,
team
sir.
with you? There was no support team, nothing.
Alone.
Oh my God.
Nothing, sir. Alone.
Okay.
Sir, I used to cycle every day. On working days, I used to cycle 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. On Sundays, I used to try and do a major ride like Karu to Tanglangla and back, Khardungla and back, something like 150 kilometers, 160 kilometers.
Okay.
So once this happened, sir, I was with
acclimatization is fine, but you're not a Ladakh, you know. So, so how did you get used to those high altitude conditions for cycling? It was just over a period of time you got acclimatized to that, or because it needs tremendous amount of energy, no? And
Yes.
not only energy, your lung power has to be much more than what it is normal. I mean, like, okay.
Firstly,
Yeah.
I had about 2 months I had already spent in Ladakh, so my body was completely acclimatized.
Hmm.
Then I also went into a kind of a diet regimen, sir, where I used to take those kind of diet which was useful for me,
Okay.
like something for like you mentioned lungs. So
Hmm.
if you have a glass of beetroot juice every
Hmm.
morning, it increases the capacity of the lungs to hold oxygen. So I
Okay.
did some kind of study research, and I
Hmm.
followed that religiously, sir.
Okay. Hmm.
So
Okay.
once
Great.
this crash happened, sir, I came back. I was, out of action for almost 10, 15 days.
Hmm.
And then I was without a bike. And again, sir, I think, we come back to the same community, the Psychorian community. There was a discussion happening in a Psychorian group that this guy has crashed, the cycle is broken.
Hmm.
And what can we do to help him?
Hmm.
And one of my senior, he was my house captain also in India, in school, and he was a sixth termer in NDA when I was a first termer, VVV Prakash.
Hmm.
He spoke to General Surendranath, sir,
Hmm.
and he told him the entire, story of how I am going to attempt Leh Manali. General Surendranath gave me a call,
Hmm.
and he said, "We are not aware that a Psychorin is doing all these things, and we will help you."
Hmm.
And then he spoke to the previous DGRT, General Ravi Prasad.
Hmm.
That's how the RT Directorate got involved, sir. I got a call from RT Directorate. The DGRT wanted to support me. And then on a visit to Ladakh, he came to my unit. He gave me a check of 3 lakhs to sponsor me for the event.
Okay. Hmm.
And also one of our ex-Icorian, sir, Mr. J.S. Rao.
Hmm.
He's the CEO of Kirti Industries.
Hmm.
From his side also, they gave me a financial assistance. So I got a new bike. I could sponsor the entire, the expenditure was almost like 5.56 lakhs. So I got the entire funds to sponsor my Leh Manali. So in a very short span of time, the Psychorian community pitched in such a way that not only I got a new cycle, I could also sponsor the entire Leh Manali Guinness record, and that also propelled me to give my best.
Yeah. Fantastic. Hmm.
And then, sir, I went for my Himalayan Ultra race.
Hmm.
But then, like I mentioned earlier, I did not have a crew, sir. If you remember, I mentioned Mr. Satish, who was the Delhi organizer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I spoke to him, he said, I will come.
Oh.
So he came from Delhi to Ladakh. And the other crew members, sir, were one of my ex-commanding officer of 106 Medium, my parent unit. He was posted in Kumbathang. So he came as a crew. No idea about cycling. The only bond is same unit.
Hmm.
One of my course mate, again my squadron type, he came from Roorkee. So all of them got together just about 48 hours before the event.
Hmm.
So we did not know actually how to go about, but I think it's all that academy or school Josh. So we went on on 11 September, we commenced our race. But then, because we were not very well prepared, sir, again my nutrition, hydration took a back seat. By the time I reached Dras, which was the halfway point, I was very, very exhausted. I could just make it to Dras in my just in cutoff time, maybe
Okay.
2 minutes to the cutoff time. Turned back, crossed about Thasgam, and short of Kargil, sir. I was so tired, exhausted that my crew decided to quit the race. They said there's no point continuing because you're not in a state. So after doing about 350 kilometers, we quit the race, sir. We could not finish it.
Okay.
Then next day, and my wife was already she had come to Ladakh in September because she wanted to support me for both the races. And she was surprised that I quit the race because she said, generally you're not in the habit of quitting.
Yeah.
So she was really surprised. And after we returned to Leh, we had something called a post-mortem, sir. We were doing brainstorming. of what went wrong, what we could have done,
Mm.
and should we go ahead with Leh Manali or not? Because it was already 13th September and I had planned my Leh Manali on 25th September. Less than 12 days to go.
Yeah.
And we have suffered a setback where I could not even finish the race. My nutrition is not sorted. Hydration is not sorted. My crew does not know what I eat, how much calories I should take in. They are not experienced. And most importantly, sir, I had not once seen the route from Leh to Manali.
Okay.
So we had a discussion, my crew, my wife, and this guy called Kabir. Now, Kabir is one of the top cyclists of India, sir. I mean, even Himalaya Ultra, he was the guy who came first.
Okay.
And there is a cyclist called Sumit Patil, who was one of the crew member of Kabir. Kabir has already done RAM. He's one of those 3 Indians who has done RAM in time. And Sumit has attempted RAM. He could not finish, but attempted. And again, he's a fantastic cyclist. And he was the same guy who organized that virtual time trial 24 hours, which I did earlier.
Okay.
So I didn't know these two guys very well, but we had some kind of relation over the past about 15 days. So all of us were discussing what went wrong, what we should have done, and whether or not I should attempt Leh Manali Guinness Record. And so the unanimous opinion was that I should not attempt. Because I am not prepared, neither physically, nor I have a crew in place, nor my crew knows what I have to eat or drink. And last point, I had not seen the route. But sir, I mean, from my point of view, I had already committed to the race. The army had got involved. The DGRT had come and already, I mean, given me that check and all those things. So in my mind, I could not back off. I mean, they kept saying that if not this year, you can do next year. But for me, that was not an option, sir.
Yeah, true.
So I promised them that all I will do is maybe do a recce of Leh Manali in a vehicle and then come back and decide. So they thought once I do the recce, I'll come back and say I'll not do it because the road is very, very bad. Very bad.
I know.
So, and we wanted Sumit to be part of the crew, sir. Because he's an experienced guy.
Yeah.
He knows the entire stretch from Leh to Manali like the back of his hand. He cycled on that stretch for a long time. And he's an ultra cyclist. So he said one thing. He said, I'm going back to Mumbai, but if you decide to do it, I'll come back. So with that kind of assurance, I went on a recce, sir. I saw the route. I mean, in fact, near Sarchu for 22 kilometers, there is no road, sir. There's just no road. Even four-wheelers get stuck in that patch. A road bike with the 25mm tires, there was no way I could have ridden through that patch. But then, like I said, I had no option. I came back. I said, I'm going to do it. Then my crew again got together. My ex-CEO, he had already committed. Satish sir, he had committed that he'll come back. Sumit had told me that he will come back from Mumbai. And then when I reached out to other people, one of my again ex-CEOs of parent unit, he's posted in Trivandrum.
Mm.
He also came from Trivandrum.
Mm.
Then when I was Jeevan Ops in 24 Div, the SO2 GOC, a para officer, I called him. He also came. So people, the moment I gave a call, people they pitched in. So I had a fresh crew for my Leh Manali, but this time they reached about 4 or 5 days before the event. They got together along with my wife Ramya. They sat together. They made a plan of what I should eat every 1 hour, what I should be drinking every 1 hour. I had 2 support vehicles, and we had a strategy in place. The previous record was 35 hours and 32 minutes.
Okay.
So we had to break that. And as a cyclist, 1-to-1, I am not better than Kal Bharat Pannu. He is a better cyclist than me. So to break that record, firstly, I had to move out of my comfort zone, and the crew also had to get together. The coordination had to be in such a way that we reduce timing in the coordination aspects. So Sumit came in, and Sumit was the crew chief for the event, and he had very, very clear ideas. He said there will be no power nap, not 1 minute, not 10 minutes. He said you start from Leh, you will end at Manali, and only after that you will sleep. He said neither will the crew suggest any power nap, nor you will take any power nap. And every 1 hour, the amount of calories I was supposed to take in was fixed. And I promised my crew, whatever I will be given, I will just eat it without any complaints. Because, sir, while cycling, after a certain time, you don't feel like eating.
Yeah, absolutely. And that way that at the altitude,
Yes. Yes. So my crew was putting in that kind of effort, so that was the least I could do. And then, of course, we had a 4 a.m. start from Leh, sir. And the brigade commander came and flagged off. And I think whatever we planned, sir, during our planning phase, the strategy that we planned, we actually followed it. The only thing was, my plan was to finish in 33 hours, and Sumit was planning to finish in 35 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because he said even if we are breaking the record by 2 minutes, it is still a new record. So when we reached Sarchu, sir, I reached Sarchu at 10:30 at night. So by then I had been cycling for almost 18 hours non-stop. And I had a longish break at Sarchu. And it was, I think, -7 or -8 at night at that point of time. Once I started from Sarchu, it was almost 11:30. And in my own mind, I was 2 hours behind schedule.
Okay.
But as per Sumit and rest of my crew, I was actually on schedule.
Okay.
So I had given up. I think I told myself maybe the record is not going to get broken, but I'll finish the route, whatever. But they were very confident. And I think there is a very tricky patch, sir, because I was cycling continuously for about 22 hours. I was feeling sleepy. And then I had a deja vu of that Himalayan Ultra when I was feeling sleepy and I had to quit the race. But then this time I had my crew. They came in, they stopped me. I was given coffee shots, and then I continued. So by the time I think we reached a place called Darcha, sir, Himachal, at 5:30 in the morning. I was very, very fresh. I was cycling for more than 24 hours. I was fresh. I had said the record is going to get broken, and we will do it within 34 hours. So once the rider has that kind of confidence, the crew also feels motivated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got rejuvenated and we just continued. And I mean, we got delayed, sir, in between, because I was not mentally, I was not able to appreciate the elevation beyond Baralashla also. So I think we end up doing in 34 hours, 54 minutes, which I felt we could have done 34 hours. But I think a huge contribution has to go to my crew, sir. The way they stuck with me, the way they motivated me, the way the entire thing was planned, executed, it was fantastic. So I just cycled, sir. I mean, I would say that my contribution would be 40-45%. The rest of the 50% was my crew and the support which I got.
Okay. So finally you made it in 34 hours and 54 minutes. Yeah. So
Yes,
what was the earlier record you said?
So 35 hours and 32 minutes.
35 hours and 32 minutes. So you improved. Oh, it is 6 plus 38 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 38 minutes you had improved. Okay. So, so what was the feeling when you reached Manali?
I think that I think the predominant feeling was of relief, sir.
Very true, very true. They can't be another feeling at that point of time. Sure, sure. Excellent. I mean, so
And
glad.
even I was not expecting any kind of media there also. But
Hmm.
then the moment I entered, there was a reporter from Z News, so I had to
Hmm.
give some kind of interview also. But
Hmm.
my mind was only thinking about going back to the transit camp and taking a well-deserved nap. But then once I reached my room, there were a lot of messages in the WhatsApp.
Hmm.
Uh, so I had to reply to them. There were a lot of calls.
Hmm.
And I realized that people were really, I mean, in the Psychorian group, they were following it hour by hour. I
Yeah.
mean, every hour it was being taken.
Hmm.
So I really felt that the kind of support that I had,
Yeah.
that moral support and all that thing, it was a huge help, sir, support.
Hmm. Excellent. So fantastic. I mean, absolutely incredible achievement, I think.
Everyone, we are here at Leh, the Leh main gate. Mr. Sripada Sriram, can you just have a look over here? Yeah. So it's about
I'll take the time. I'll
You
see
take the time, yeah.
The time now is 3:59.
The time is 3:59. We'll be starting exactly at 4 o'clock. Huh? Pradeep sir, just
1 minute हो गया.
so when the time is there, just tell me. We can start. Huh? Yeah.
What about 30-40 people, 20 odd people?
We have nearly 50 people over here at the start point. We'll be starting exactly at 4.
We also have our witnesses, Tanvi and Riyaz also, who are present here.
Can Tanvi and Riyaz just come forward?
Should I call Sumit?
Yeah.
Yes, Sumit?
They are the witnesses,
Sumit, 1 second.
Miss Tanvi and Mr. Riyaz.
Okay, so 4.
It's 4 o'clock now. We can start.
Let's go. Okay,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. All the best, Sriram. It's 52 minutes past 2 o'clock, 14:52 hours on the 26th of September 2021, and we are just about to reach the final destination. The rider, Mr. Sripada Sriram, is just a few kilometers short to reach the final destination at the start of Mall Road in Manali.
700 meters short, sir.
Just about 700 meters short.
meters.
600 meters short. We are in the Manali main market now.
900 meters short, sir.
About 500 meters short. जल्दी जल्दी
After that, so did you do any other this thing after this?
No, sir, unfortunately, after the Leh Manali, I haven't been able to cycle a lot. But then this year, I've got certain goals, sir.
Mhm.
I've come back to Akhnur now. I'll start cycling, and my crew who are with me, they want to, me to achieve, attempt a couple of more records this year.
Mhm.
So we'll plan something this year also, because there are a couple of records to be broken. And then the eventual aim is RAM, sir.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want to attempt RAM in 2024. So whatever preparations we'll be doing from now on will be towards achieving that goal.
Okay. So, like, what about so how long can you keep on doing this? I mean, like age-wise, generally. I mean, what has been the trend of like 40, or what is the age that you can really do this kind of a thing?
Sir, I think age is again like it's a
Yeah.
cliche, but
Yeah.
it is a number.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
There's a guy called Christoph Strasser, sir.
Mhm.
I think he must be 45 plus
Mhm.
as on date, and he's an Austrian, and he's, I think, finished RAM 6 times, and one
Oh.
of those times, sir, he finished RAM in 7 days and 22 hours.
Wow.
And the majority of the riders, they struggle to finish in 12 days.
Mhm.
This guy, 40 plus, he finished in 7 days and 22 hours. And then people feel that this time cannot be bettered.
Okay.
Here he comes back again
Hmm.
and he does this in 7 days and 16 hours.
Oh my God. So the good inspiration for you. A long time now.
So,
Good, good. Okay. Yeah. So excellent. I mean, excellent narration. Okay. So now I come to the next question. So how do you think school has contributed to you making of your personality and I mean your inner core as such?
sir, I think one statement which is very, very underrated, which is not understood.
Hmm.
At least I did not understand it before I started getting into all these things. Is that it's all mental.
Hmm.
So I think in school, living, away from your parents or the comforts of home, staying with your friends with that culture. Firstly, you start, uh, understanding or realizing the importance of surviving alone. You
Hmm.
learn the tricks of the trade. Not only you survive, but you try and make the best out of that situation.
Hmm.
So there are difficult moments, there are non-negotiable times, but then with your kind of training, you come up with something to negotiate that kind of phase.
Hmm.
And I would say that the support base that we have, I mean, the classmates, they are just like family members. I mean, when you go back home for summer vacation, more than anything else, you start missing your friends and the school. And when you come back, you feel like you come back home.
Hmm.
So that is the kind of support base we have in the school. So I think as a it nurtures your personality in that way where you're able to do well outside. Even I've realized, sir, even people who are not very well in your own batch, who may be
Hmm.
the bottom 10, 15, when they go out of the school, they do extremely, extremely well.
Yeah.
That means we have learned the trade of doing well irrespective of where we are. So
Hmm.
that kind of a mental framework that we build up in school, the character that we build up in the school, that I think helps us throughout. And then, sir, I think in all kind of all these ultra races or physical events, there is a time when the body gives up
Hmm.
and the mind has to take on. So I cannot actually quantify how much the body contributes, 50%, 60%, beyond what stage the mind takes on. But
Hmm.
then I think at one point of time, when the mind takes on, the body just follows.
Hmm.
So my Leh Manali, sir, I was not in a great physical shape,
Hmm.
but I could finish it because of the mental strength that we have developed.
And that too with that accident just a few weeks before the event and all. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Other
So
thing is, yeah.
because
Sorry.
we learn from school, academy, everything, that actually is the culmination of all these things, sir.
Hmm. Yeah. Other thing that struck me while you were narrating your cycling experience was that each individual, comes into your life perhaps for a reason. As you were saying, Satish, you're meeting him probably had given you a different perspective about cycling, and what he probably could help you was, if you wouldn't have met him, probably, you know, all this wouldn't have happened,
Absolutely, sir.
So
Absolutely.
I think it proves that everyone comes into your life for a reason,
Exactly.
and ensure that they take you on the right path which you have chosen probably.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Sir,
Excellent.
I mean, Sati, you have given a very correct example of
Yeah.
Satish, sir. I would say even Sumit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Coming, who would? Yeah.
the first time I met this guy
Mm,
was in August 2021, sir, last year.
mm, mm,
The first time I'm meeting him is August 21.
yeah.
Within 1 month, he plays a pivotal role in one of my greatest achievements of life.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I was actually coming to that because who would come? Who would promise you that he'll come back from Mumbai to Leh to be part of your team? And I think at that critical point, the support team was all it would made a difference probably because
Absolutely. Absolutely.
somebody as a number would really wouldn't have done too much for you. because these people with their knowledge, with their intricate knowledge about cycling, probably they were the right. Again, as I said, these two probably came into your life for a reason. And then knowing that you're a Psychorian and getting the help was also, it happened for a reason probably.
Exactly, sir.
Yeah,
And sir,
Mm.
like out of my five-member crew, only
Mm.
two are cyclists, Satish
Mm.
and Sumit.
Yeah.
The other three are Fauris.
Yeah.
All of them senior to me. Two of them
Mm.
my ex-CEOs.
Mm.
And again, if you remember, I said 106 was one of the best things to have happened to me.
Yeah, sure.
These two officers coming to crew for me is just because of my parent unit, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
No,
DGRT.
not only that, probably they would have seen something in you that you're going to probably, I mean, obviously happens, so that they had that confidence in you probably that you're going to achieve something. And people would be probably, would be more than willing to do that. I mean, that trust and faith in you probably was also prompted them to come and pitch in their, whatever bit they had. Yeah. So other thing was in the entire thing of cycling. So yeah, this sponsorship, you said okay, but all other things you had to bear the expenses, or what was it like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, sir, cycling is actually an expensive, sport.
Sure.
So, not only the major expense like getting a road bike or all these things, the recurring expense are too much. So, I would say in this regard, my wife has really compromised a lot because for the past about 3 years, my cycling has taken importance over other things.
Yeah.
Like normally on Sundays, a couple in a peace station, they would like to go out, probably have lunch somewhere, do some shopping and come back. And my Sundays were like, I used to start at 3:30 in the morning, cycle for 200 km, come back by afternoon. And then when I used to reach home, my wife used to make some good food for me, which I used to like. So, I mean, she has given up her Sundays. She has given up her holidays for
Yeah,
my cycling.
so that again proves the point, behind every successful man, there is a woman
But my
who
entire family,
ensures
sir,
her success. Yeah.
my entire family, my
Yeah.
mother, when I used to ride at night in Bikaner, my mother used to stay awake throughout the night. And when I used to come back at whatever time, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, she used to prepare some kind of breakfast for me.
Yeah, a
So,
mother is a mother in any case. Yeah.
and
Sure.
my son again, he's also, compromised a lot. He's 8.5 years now. So
Okay.
he's also compromised. So I think the entire family, they have really put my cycling ahead of their own ambition.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Without them, definitely not possible, sir.
Yeah, great.
Even
So,
now, for RAM, even if I have any kind of a, uncertainty, my wife is very clear. She says, RAM to karna hi hai.
oh, fantastic. Fantastic. That's great to hear actually. Yeah, so what are the next milestone, immediate milestone?
Sir, this year, September, my next event would be Great Himalayan Ultra again in September. Last year I could not finish. So this year, not only I want to finish, I want to finish it well.
Okay.
And then actually in June, there's a race called La La Land Ultra, which is conducted by irregulars, Sumit Patil. And it is basically, sir, from Manali to Turtuk.
Okay.
So I did Leh to Manali. Now I have to come reverse Manali to Leh and then cross Khardungla and go till.
Yeah.
So it is a 700 kilometer race.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be finished in 100 hours.
Okay.
So if at all I'm able to reach Ladakh in time, that will be something I'll attempt. And then Himalayan Ultra. And then, sir, we are planning to attempt at least one world record again, Guinness record again this year, maybe by November. So as a crew, we are still discussing those options. But then again, we have to apply for the Guinness thing and we have to get the approval and then we'll go ahead. Otherwise, whatever we'll do from now will be aimed at RAM 2024.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sriram, for this interaction. I mean, it's amazing because I was with Ladakh Scouts, from 99 to 2000. 2001.
Great.
So, or rather, sorry, 97 to 99. Okay, so
Sir.
I can imagine how tough it is to actually do cycling there, and despite all that, and you're not a nunu, like our Ladakhi boys. Tremendous. I mean, it always makes me wonder, uh, somebody from South, doing records in high altitude, because it's not a natural thing for you, it's not like something very natural to your body. And but yeah, amazing. Congratulations for all your achievements, and thank you so much for taking me through the journey of your life, as well as your cycling experiences. So thank you so much,
Sir,
Sriram. God
thank
bless
you.
you. Wish you all the very best, and take care.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay,
Thank
bye
you.
bye. Bye. God bless.
Good day.
Bye.